Still River Radio, and this is the old guy. And, we're just about up until Christmas, another 3 or 4 days. Still River. And all the lights are out, and everybody's shopping, but way back long ago, before strip malls existed, before malls existed, the main street was the mall. And around Christmas time, they decorated it. They put real trees up on the poles on the side of the streets and decorated them. And they had the lines across with a star, a bell, or a Christmas ornament, or a Rudolph in different colors. And those big bulbs that didn't blink, you know. And this was before any of the commercialism really got a real hold. So people really didn't Christmas shop till maybe about a week before Christmas. And the downtown area was packed. Lots of traffic, lots of people in the streets. These men wore these suits and these fedora hats. This was like the late 50s, the middle 50s. And from where I could see from my window where I lived, one window on the right, I could look. We were on the third floor, and I could look and see all the way down to Main Street from Still River on the right, and we were on the north end of Main Street, and I could see all the way down to the left to the end of Main Street, and you could see all the lights in a row covering the Main Street. And railroad tracks crossed the main street of Still River. And back then, you still had freight trains. And they would come by maybe once, twice a day and block all the traffic. The gates would go down. And there was only one side road that went down underneath a trestle, where if you caught it just right, you could get by and take a left and go down if you're headed north. Or if you're headed south, you could go up and then take a right and then come down about a quarter of a mile and then come out back on the other end of the tracks. And around Christmas Eve, it was quite a scene. It was really something to see, looking out these windows. You know, I had a tree, and there in the living room there was a mantelpiece. This was an old house that was huge. It was built in the 1800s. Must have been some kind. They said it was some kind of a livery stable. So actually, I lived in a livery stable at one time during the turn of the last century. So, and we would go about the weekend before Christmas to the Elks Hall. They would have a Christmas party for kids, and they would play cartoons, and you would get if you were a boy, you got a blue slip of paper, and if you were a girl, you got a pink. And towards the end of the show, they had like soda and goodies and stuff to eat. They handed out these funny mesh Christmas stockings. I don't know if you can remember them. And they had all kinds of little trinkets and stuff in it. And, you know, we'd come back and go through it and look at what was in there and go, well, what's this and what's that? And they had like hard candies in it and stuff like that. Bubbles, a bubble blower, you name it. It was in there. Little trains. But when the cartoons are over, Santa Claus would come on stage with elves, and you would go up. They would lead you up by row, and you would get a bigger present. And they were pretty good. Got a chemistry set once. I never forgot. That was I think the last year we went there, because me and my brother, we nearly blew up the house because we proceeded to make gunpowder. And We had a real tree, and they had those lights which you screwed into the light chain. They had like this, they were like a bulbous ball with like a candle on the top, glass, and it had a fluid in it that would bubble when you plugged it in. They outlawed them because they would heat up and explode, and one did. And one exploded, and a real Christmas tree, if it gets on fire, it can go up very fast. And well, they had to run into the kitchen, get a bucket of water and throw it on it. And by that time, half the tree, I'm talking about less than 30 seconds, half the tree was gone. And we put it out. Now, I guess that was, as far as I can remember, the last real tree we had. So, last week, Christmas coming up this weekend.